Today, on A Raging Atheist, I'm going to be asking a very serious question. And that question is Elizabeth Warren a cougar? What is up, you sinners and saints, you blasphemous, beautiful people? Welcome back to A Raging Atheist. I'm your boy, Nakasuchi, and today we're going to be asking a really serious question. But first, I'd like to thank all of my patrons. Your support has been invaluable, and I'd like to ask all of you to hit the thumbs up, to subscribe, share this if you find it as funny as I do. Alright, so a couple of Trump supporters, some real serious dudes named Jacob Wall and Jack Berkman. Yeah, Jack Berkman. A couple real serious dudes, right? And they've come out with some real serious news in the past. News that actually made national news. Like, you know, how Mueller was having affairs and Mueller was like this sexual harasser dude, right? Like, and, you know, thoroughly debunked, easily debunked, obviously shilling for Trump, obviously lying for Trump, obviously real fake news. So these two types of really serious people are going to come out and have a news conference about Elizabeth Warren. And there's a channel, there's an actual YouTube channel, and we're going to cover this channel, and it's called News to Share, and it is legitimately a fake news site. I mean, this is what right-wing news is. It's propaganda, it's fake news, it's fake bullshit, and they're going to peddle this fake narrative, and they're going to attack Trump's enemies because, well, Trump gives them license to do this kind of thing because Trump does this kind of thing.
Thanks for coming. Thanks, good afternoon, and thanks to everyone for being here. You know, the reason we do this is now more than ever, truth and absolute truth and the facts are needed in politics. You know, as you get into a world that just goes wild on the internet, there has to be a group that does nothing but get to the truth and get to the bottom of things.
And I'm absolutely 100% positive that you are this group. You, Jack Berkman, you, Jacob Wall, you are the people that are going to bring this truth, and we're going to get truth, and you're going to change my mind that Trump is a dickhead. You're going to change my mind that Elizabeth Warren's probably going to win the nomination. You're going to change my mind with this whole Elizabeth Warren is a cougar argument. I want to hear it. You are the people to bring me the truth.
Like we said, it's good to welcome you back to the Center of Election 2020. And today we're presenting some very serious allegations against Senator Elizabeth Warren. She was involved in a very explicit relationship with a male escort who stands to my left side, a decorated U.S. combat veteran, somebody who served our country, a war hero, truly. I don't think this is a funny thing.
I mean, they pulled out of the dredges a war hero that's going to have serious allegations towards Senator Elizabeth Warren. And all those disrespectful leftists laughing about it. I mean, these are obviously some very legitimate investigators.
Yeah. Whoa.
Alright, enough with the pretense. I be doing exactly what them ladies were doing. I love that they're laughing at these clowns. I love that they're right there in their face laughing at this shit because it's hilarious. Let's get into it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kelvin Welly, and as Jack Berkman and Jacob Wall said here, I'm 25 years old and I'm a United States combat veteran. Tonight, this evening, I bring you here to talk about how me and Senator Warren had our escapade. Senator Elizabeth Warren first secured my services from a website called Cowboys for Angels. The site is for attractive young men, as you can see, who provide companionship, escort services.
So as you can see, I mean, obviously this website provides services from very handsome young men. And Elizabeth Warren is rich, and she's a member of Congress, so obviously she must be on this website ordering these services. Elizabeth Warren is a cougar.
To be well-heeled women. I was hired by Senator Warren from the site on August 7th of 2018. She reached out by messaging me on the site. Pay no mind. On August 8th of 2018,
Man,
I was
okay,
booked
hold on.
by-
The laughing has to stop or you have to leave the property. I'm not going to tell you yet. Security will remove.
I mean, if you are not laughing your ass off right with those ladies who are there to see this freak show live, I don't know what's wrong with you. I mean, this shit's hilarious. And did you notice, like, dude's pants were unzipped? Here, check it out. Like, his pants are unzipped. Like, dude, you're having a press conference and your pants are unzipped.
I complied with the instructions of my new client despite being rather nervous. I had to spend time with an older woman many times before, but never a woman over 60.
I mean, when the guy says nice and the guy laughs, I mean, they can't keep a straight face through this whole fucking interview. Like, they're trying to have a press conference, slandering Elisabeth Warren, accusing her of cheating on her husband. You know, like just horrible shit, right? This is like the generic Project Veritas, right? Like they're trying to frame Elisabeth Warren for cheating on her husband and can't even keep a straight fucking face when they're doing it.
Although I was unaware of it at the time, Senator Warren wanted not just rough sex, but extensive BDSM play, which I'm sure you're quite familiar with, I'm sure. On the early morning of August 8th, before boarding my flight, she messaged me and told me to bring toys. I asked, what kind of toys? And she said, surprise me. At that point, while waiting to board my flight, I ordered a Hitachi massager and a small tube of water-based lubricant.
So a sitting congresswoman, and you might not understand that she's a congresswoman. You say you know her as Liz later in the video. But this is a rich woman that has acquired your services that you're going to pretend like you didn't know, even though Elisabeth Warren's face is like every fucking where. But you're going to pretend like you didn't know who the fuck she was. And still, it's some rich woman that's acquired your services, messages you and tells you to get toys. And you, being the professional hooker that you are, order a massager and a little lube. I don't know, I could kind of imagine like a rich ass congresswoman not being satisfied with those toys.
I had the products delivered via Amazon, as we all do. A same-day delivery to the front desk of the Hilton, where I was set to meet Senator Warren. The evening of August 8th of 2018 was not the first, not several, but many BDSM sessions with Senator Warren.
Not one, many sessions of BDSM with Senator Warren. And I just had to ask the question, you know, like how the fuck can she make all this time to have all these liaisons as she's running to be president of the United fucking States? I mean, not to mention that the dates he specifically mentions, the 7th and 8th, Elisabeth Warren was in Congress because she's in Congress. But let's get back to that whole question about these toys, dude. Like, you're supposed to be a professional. Was she satisfied with those toys you brought?
She seemed disappointed, quite disappointed, with what I ordered from Amazon.
Yeah, as she should be. This is like the only believable part of this whole fucking charade. Like, she should be disappointed with that shit. She ordered you, motherfucker. She paid good money for you. And you got a motherfucking massager and a little bit of lube? I mean, obviously, Elisabeth Warren is too freaky for you. You don't deserve Elisabeth Warren because that freaky cougar needs somebody that can actually bring the freak. Of course, I don't believe any of this bullshit, and I find it hilarious, and this is fucking hilarious.
As the time went on, the sessions became increasingly edgy. During one session, she insisted on being whipped 22 times prior to having intercourse.
I mean, it kind of sounds like I need me some Elisabeth Warren in my life. I mean, like, Does this guy not realize how fucking funny all this shit is? I mean, do not all three of these dudes realize just how unbelievably funny this shit is? The fact that they thought that they would, like, people would believe this shit. And the sad thing is, you know, we all have like a family full of uncles now that believe this shit. And now you guys, when somebody comes to you and tells you about how Elizabeth Warren has proven to be a cougar, if you've watched this video, you can just laugh in their fucking face.
On another, she asked me to bring a cat of nine tails, which I obtained again from Amazon. And over my strenuous objections, she insisted that I whip her with the cat of nine tails until there was extensive marks on her buttocks and rough sex followed.
That's right, y'all. Y'all heard it first on News to Share that Elizabeth Warren is so freaky she likes to have marks left on her butt and then rough sex. I mean, seriously, like these people have no integrity. These people have no humanity. You know, to them, it's all about Trump and Trump winning and that alone. And if they weren't scared of Elizabeth Warren, they wouldn't have to make up these silly stories about her. I mean, it's really funny, but it's really sad. And it's really sad that this is the state that our country is in.
In the late 2018, at a hotel in Washington, D.C., she insisted upon doing a threesome with me and a second woman, of course. She asked me to procure a beautiful and busty early 20s friend of mine. So I asked a friend of mine from high school who I knew about sexual adventure, who she was very sexually adventurous. And Senator Warren engaged in lesbian sex with my friend from high school.
So how exactly did Elizabeth Warren know about your friend from high school? Did Elizabeth Warren go to high school with you? Obviously not. Elizabeth Warren's 60, you're 25. So how did Elizabeth Warren know about this beautiful, busty high school friend of yours? And that's right, y'all. That's right. These dudes just outed Elizabeth Warren as part of the LGBTQ plus community. So like, yeah, like vote for Warren, I guess? I mean, do they not understand that that actually kind of helps her with the whole left community? Because, you know, we're not douchebags and we don't really care what you do in the bedroom. Do they not realize that we can see through this charade? Do they not realize you can just look at Elizabeth Warren and know that she isn't doing all of this shit? If she is, I mean, more power to her. It would surprise the fuck out of me. But you can just like look at her and know like she's running for president. She doesn't have the time to be doing all this shit. And probably never did all this shit. And in fact, never did all this shit.
Using a lime green strap-on dildo, as I can remember. I'm sorry.
What's funny? What's funny?
As a lime green strap-on dildo, as I can remember, that she brought with her in her suitcase.
And now we're to the most intriguing part of this story. I don't understand why CNN isn't running with this story right here about Elizabeth Warren and her lime green strap-on dildo.
Senator Warren has also told me that she has a 37-year-old daughter, and her name is Lisa. That was the product of a one-night stand at a party she attended when she was a professor at the University of Houston. She told me that she has always kept this daughter hidden from public view.
Sounds a lot like John Edwards.
So, do you have proof of this hidden daughter that Elizabeth Warren has had from a drunken one-night stand when she was in college? Do you have any proof of this, or are you just gonna slander a sitting congresswoman who's running against your douchebag president? And I really love how they're like, oh, it sounds like John Edwards, because, like, you know, John Edwards was a douchebag, and he's the one example that they can really bring up and be like, aren't all Democrats like John Edwards? No, actually, you know who's more like John Edwards than the rest of the Democrats? Your president. In fact, your president is worse than John Edwards. Your president has had many affairs with younger women. Your president is accused of sexual harassment by numerous women. Your president is accused of rape by 2 women, I think, now.
And I think we're familiar with all of this from I think we're familiar with all this from the Democrat Party. Of course, we all remember John Edwards, a mistress, a love child, and an affair that shocked the conscience of the nation, as this, I'm sure, does.
Yep, you know, John Edwards' affair shocked the conscience of the nation. Although most people probably don't even remember who the fuck John Edwards is. But guess what affair did rock the conscience of a nation? Stormy motherfucking Daniels.
Hold on, hang on. What we're going to show you now is that the sex between our client here and Senator Warren was so violent that he actually obtained scars on his back. So why don't you go ahead and show us the scars there? We're going to open it up to questions very shortly. You'll be able to ask whatever you want. But until then, you're going to have to stay quiet or you're going to be asked to leave. Go ahead and show us the scars here.
Well, I think I'm sold now. They got a dude with scars. That's proof. That's evidence. This dude has scars, so obviously Elizabeth Warren did that. Like, I'm sold.
From a swing chain that he was taking down back in 2016, okay? So there's evidence of him with the scar back then from something else. God, they're the worst bunglers. They're like worse than Trump, and that is unbelievable. Serial bunglers to the extreme.
Yeah, that's right. The dude has social media posts showing how he got the scars, and it was from a swing chain back in 2016. Wasn't from Elizabeth Warren. These jokes can't even lie right. But you know, this got Elizabeth Warren's attention, and she's gonna clap back a little bit. Let's check it out.
And these guys are going around saying that she's a cougar and is into BDSM. She does a tweet. Elizabeth Warren writes, "It's always a good day to be reminded that I got where I am because a great education was available for $50 a semester at the University of Houston. Go Cougars."
Oh my God.
We need to cancel student debt and make college free for everyone who wants it. She works in Cougar, she works in college admission, and she works in her policy proposal of free college for folks.
No, well played. That was well played. I got to give her credit for that. That is well played.
Utterly, utterly brilliant. Now, there are things about Elizabeth Warren that I don't like. I don't like that she takes money from some big corporations. But there are a lot of things about Elizabeth Warren I like, and that clapback is one of those things. She's a fighter, and she's not afraid to fight back. But all laughs aside, y'all, this is just evidence about how Trump and the people that push Trump propaganda think that Trump voters are idiots. And the very sad thing is they're primarily right. A lot of people are going to believe this nonsense because they won't see this charade of a press conference. They won't understand that these two people are charlatans. They'll only hear it from a friend, and they'll believe it. And that's what we're dealing with in this election, is truth versus untruth. And that's why I must take my stand. Because a raging atheist is about truth, about finding truth, about admitting when I'm wrong, but finding truth. And this is the battle on the front lines, right here in our country. As always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi. This is A Raging Atheist. If you like my videos, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share me on your social media, comment in the comments section below. Tell me what you think about the video. Tell me if you got a laugh out of it. Hit the bell so you get notified every single time I release a new video or have a new live stream. And I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Tomorrow, in fact, with Richard Madsen.